hello Tube users. Dr. DrRunCMD yet again with yet another video. Today I thought we'd have a look at this product right in front of your eyes right now. You can see right there, look, see it. Now this is a emergency lighting ballast piece of equipment that you'll find in emergency lights in a commercial environment, as well as some public areas and all manners of business. Anyway, this one has bitten the dust. It's gone to the grave. Decides not to work anymore, and there's a short on the output to the lamp that it goes to, which is a CCFL or fluorescent D style lamp, which I've probably discussed before in a previous video. So I thought we'd have a look. I've already opened it, so I'll save you the hassle and save you the rigmarole of going through and opening the case and all that kind of crap. So we shall next just move on to the board that's inside. So that's all the information on it if you wanted to have a look. Blah 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 blah. This was a nice little plastic case that it came in, obviously to stop it shorting to a metal aluminium case, of course. And obviously the aluminium case is used as a kind of like a heat sink, because these things, I don't know if you know or have worked with CCFL lighting products, they do get rather toasty. So obviously the aluminium heat sink is to help spread the heat and sort of, you know, disperse the heat away from the components on the inside, as you'll see in this board next. This is the board that was from the device. I'm not going into too much detail, but if you look closely, can you tell what part of this board has actually failed? Yes, look at those two whopping great power resistors right there. Look at the scorch marks on that. That's absolutely crazy. That's even gone through to the other side. What the? Why don't you put a higher rating power resistor in there instead of like a 1 watt, which that probably looks like, or a 2 watt? Why don't you stick like a 5 watt in there? Maybe it'll last longer. Anyway, yeah, a bit of a bulgy cap right there. Can you see that? Can you see that? It's a little bit bulgy. Oh, come on, camera, focus, you bastard. Yeah, so that's the only part that I can see on this board is actually black, and I mean like crispy black. And obviously created a short to ground because one of the outputs for the CCFL was just dead as a doornail. Although this was able to drive, I think this was an LED setup, I think, and the LED panel that was attached to it had an outer ring of LEDs and an inner ring of LEDs. Now, strangely enough, the emergency light, which was the outer ring of LEDs, worked fine. The inner LEDs, which is part of just the normal light when not using the emergency switchover, was dead. So I think that might be the cause, given that it's toasty. I'm unable to measure them. I'm not very good with colour coding, but I'm sure they're probably like a low ohm resistor and about probably 2 watt, 3 watt maybe at the most. So yeah, that's now dead as a door now. I mean, I could find the schematics online and possibly replace those. And again, I would probably, if you are changing these and you do have a similar problem, I would say find out what the ohmage is of the resistors, because these two are in parallel together as they are on the board. As you can see, the pins 2 and 2 either side, left and right, so they are stuck together, probably for even more heat dissipation, but didn't clearly work, did it? But all the other components on there are completely fine. The fuses are still intact, so I'm not quite sure as to how the fuse is still intact when that's complete dead short across those two resistors. So Next I'll have a look at, get the ohm meter out and see if we can measure any measurements on those resistors. Okay, and then let's have a look at this then. I've got my BM235, as you can see. I've got manual focus on because point focus isn't really good when you're trying to get one thing in shot, and obviously this lens is not a wide lens, so just about have enough screen real estate. So I will focus on the board, as you can see, and I'm just going to put this into, let's have a look, resistance mode. As you can see, resistance mode, and I'm going to have a look and see if we get any measurement on those resistors. I'm sure I've tested it and it came back with zip, nada, dead. So point there, point there. Oh, I've got it on continuity. My bad. So that just shows that it's dead anyway then. So let's see if we get any resistance reading, measurement. And it's trying to, obviously they're in circuit, so there may be something pulling up or pulling down, or something switching. But as I say, a telltale sign is that straight away, dead short, 11.3 ohms, which could be 11 ohms per resistor, but since its readings are dead short, I highly doubt that is what it is. So we'll get rid of that out of shot because I can't fit it anywhere. Stick on my lap, why not? So obviously manual focus, so must remember focus. So yeah, as you can see, they are completely gonski, as certain other YouTubers may say, a day from the EEV blog. I'm not good at this focusing ring, am I really? I'm a novice to manual focusing, so don't shout at me. Or shout at me if you choose to, choose to. There you go. So yeah, crapped out completely and totally knackered-boggered. Ballast driver for a CCFL or LED commercial lighting system. Okay, back to autofocus again. One thing I do want to check. I've seen something on the board after looking in the previous video. Can you see, there's my pointer thingy. If you have a look at the top of these transistors, okay, if I can see here and here seem to be a little, like a little lip, or maybe from a manufacturing process, or is that burnt out transistors? Also is the same on these two guys here, one here and one there. So I'll get this down, I think, if I can see that. One little notch there and one little notch on the other side, opposite side. Now I'm thinking, is that a manufacturer thing that you find on transistors, or is that actually those blown out? So one way to check. Multimeter. Do you know what? I'm going to get my other lens because this one is not wide angle enough for me. So let me come back in a moment and I'll stick my wide angle 15mm lens on. Bear with. How about that for some movie magic? That's better. You can see what I'm bloody doing now. So problem is I can't zoom too close, but it should be high enough definition to actually have a look. I'll tell you what, let me zoom in, because this has a zoom, obviously. It's not a fixed focal point. Yeah, can you see those 2 points now? I can. And that top transistor with a light on it, and the next one down with a light on it, has a notch. So That is very interesting. That's about the amount of viewpoint I had on this, on the non-wide angle lens. That's crazy. Let me focus out, just focus, zoom out just a little. You can still see what I'm doing. So, tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see if those transistors have actually pissed their guts out. Or shat their guts out, should I say. Let's have a look, shall we? So, I've got point zoom, point focus again, so I'll just do that on my Multimeter. And let's grab a transistor. There's two pairs there. So, let's put it onto continuity in my other hand. One of many. And let's have a look at that. So, as you can see on this board, let me prop it up with something. I'll focus primarily over there. So, as you can see, you've got three pins, that's those two transistors. So we're on continuity there. And there is no short. So those trannies are fine. And what was the other one I was looking at? Oh, the two top ones. About, let me see if I can see the pin arrangement here and here. Right, okay. Not dead. Not dead. So that is a manufacturing, as a result of a manufacturing process. Those little notches on those transistors. How interesting. So, learn something new every day. So yeah, I think I'll call that a wrap. And I'd say I may, or may not, depending on what I feel like. I might actually do a repair job on that. I'll find out what, what wattage, what power rating those resistors are at, and what ohmage they are, and what ohms they read, or kilo ohms. And I'll have a look online for the colour band thing, because I don't really use that. I just normally measure resistors with a multimeter. It's a damn sight thick and easier and quicker, I think. Unless you're not off by memory, like some of the old school electricians, which I don't, so you know. So I may post in the future a follow-up video, maybe on repairing this sucker, and see if we can get it to working again. And changing out that cap as well, because obviously it's gone. So yeah,